What's up, you guys? This is OffTopicGames. So for this video, what I wanted to do is, because Gear Chronicle is currently taking the meta by storm, what I want to do is to explain the combos that you can use for the base setups and then extensions that you can use to do this. So this is with First Stride for the Metallica Phoenix. So I'll show you the two combos that you can do as long as you're running TikTok as your starter, and the cards that support these two combos. So obviously, First Stride is almost always, and it should be, Metallica Phoenix. What Metallica Phoenix does is, on attack, you choose one of your rear guards and time leap it, and then you have to flip something from your G zone. So normally you flip a Chronos command, this guy to set up for this guy in the future. If you're on the Unlocker, Pocker, you can unflip Sabreeze or something like that. But anyways, let's get started for the base combo. For combo number 1, the Malem combo, the minimal amount of things you need is A, a TikTok worker, and B, a Malem. These two are very important. You can always tutor into a Malem or a TikTok worker in some way, but let's just explain this. So what Malem does is, first you swing with it, use its effect, it gets plus 4k, so it's an 11k attacker, and at the end phase you search a grade 0. So after this attacks, it'll go, you can use its effect. Even if you denial griffin it or something, it'll still activate, which is super crazy. So anyways, you attack, use TikTok skill, put into the soul. So you grab a grade 2, that grade 2 being History Maker. And then Malem's skill goes off, and you grab the stand trigger, ur-watar. And then you swing with Metallica Phoenix. Skill of Metallica Phoenix, flip over something from your G zone. Time leap the stand trigger, call another Malem. And then use the stand trigger skill, go back to the deck, draw 2, shuffle, put 1 back in shuffle. Twin drive, if you get any triggers, you can either be greedy and put the trigger here, the power here, or you can put it here and be safe. So that's up to you. I really like being greedy, so I put it here normally, but that's up to you. So anyways, after the Vanguard swing, you attack with Malem. Malem goes back to the deck, call the stand trigger again. Attack with History Maker, counterblast 1, time leap the ur-watar into Malem again, and then the ur-watar skill, go back to the deck, draw 2, put 1 back in shuffle. And then this one attacks after, and then you can search out your preferably second TikTok that you use, because it's nice because it resets your combos. Or you can call an ur-watar, a draw trigger, or like Heart Thump, for example. I personally run draw triggers. The reason why is because there's a really solid combo that you can do. I'll explain it in the extensions part, but for now I'll get to the second combo that you can do with this deck. So the second base combo that you can do with this deck includes 2 cards again, the bare minimum that you need to do it. 1 upstream and 1 TikTok worker, and you'd like to stride obviously on Metallica Phoenix. So what you do again is attack with upstream first. Upstream is the same as Malem, but it calls a grade 1 in rest. So it's like a 13k attacker, I believe. Yes. So attacks for 13. TikTok skill, time leap the upstream. Call a grade 3, which is this guy. This is what I ran personally. It's a one of, and it's one of your combo pieces. So you time leap into the grade 3. Don't activate this skill. You can if you want to for different types of plays. So what its skill is, Soul Blast 1, on call it becomes a grade 0. So if you want, you can then swing with it and then become like a Malem through this guy, and then hopefully your combos can get started more off. But this is just the solo upstream play. So anyways, with TikTok worker you call the grade 3. And then with the upstream you call GG. And so normally by turn, once you're able to stride, you have 2 cards in the soul, a grade 2 and a grade 1, as well as your TikTok that you just put in. So you have 3 soul, right? You soul blast 2 to draw 1 card, that's a +1. Next, normally you swing with this guy. You don't necessarily have to, but you do have stands in the deck, so I would, because you don't have a booster. Metallica Phoenix swings. Time leap the GG. I would call this guy. So if he's just a generic 12k attacker. Some people, you can run like this other guy that gets plus power when you call it or something. That's up to you, but this guy's fine. He can swing unboosted. Or you can just call like a Calbum or something. It doesn't necessarily need to hit. It's just there for the time leap purposes, and it's an attacker. So anyways, you swing, drive check 3, and then after you obviously just swing with this. End phase happens, so you first activate square 1 skill. At the end phase you soul charge 1. So now soul charge 1 from the top of your deck, so now you have 2 soul. And then the time leap resolves, the end of time leap. So the grade 3 comes back, the 2 comes back, the grade 2 goes back to the bottom, and then the grade 1 comes back. And because GG came back, you can then activate GG skill to Soul Blast 2 more and draw another card. So that's a +2. Generally, it's technically the same amount of pluses as the Malem play, but Malem is a bit more, it attacks more, as well as it filters your deck and stuff, so it's really nice. It's actually better, which is more preferred, but if you only have upstream in your hand, then this is also an option to go into. Now, for combo extensions that you can do, let's say obviously there's a bunch of control decks in the meta right now, so TikTok, being the broken card that is, gets retired. Then, let's say you're still on Metallica Phoenix, obviously. You can either use many cards to get the TikTok because TikTok's either broken, or you just generally just have the setup ready. So obviously you need a Malem, right? Now if you have a second Malem, then you can just swing skill, call the Malem, call the TikTok skill, and then do your combo as needed. Or you can obviously just generally have like the pieces that you need already, and go off from that. So this is what I'd preferably like to have. You can use Malem skill, grab the ur-watar, then like swing Metallica Phoenix, grab the Malem back. If you're like super amazing, you hit a trigger on the History Maker, it becomes a 14, and your opponent just never hits damage triggers because they're unlucky. Swing with Malem first. After the triple drive, swing with the Malem first. After the triple drive, grab ur-watar. History Maker swings unboosted for 14 because it hit. Time leap, counter blast 1. Call this thing skill, go back to deck and stuff. And then again, Malem, TikTok worker, call over. 16, time leap, call another Malem, and you just go off. And then after Malem goes in with TikTok worker at the end phase. So crazy combos. If you have Takeaway Dragon, you can do this. You can do the skill multiple times per turn, so you can put things back to the bottom of your deck. So if you have a trigger for something, I would suggest you put the trigger back first, or use the takeaway skill first before the ur-watar skill, because then you can shuffle the trigger back into the deck rather than it going to the bottom. If it's a card like TikTok Worker that goes back to the bottom and you do not need it to be, you do not want to drive check it, then you can leave it at the bottom if you want. So that's the general combos that you can do with this deck. I'll show you some extensions and some crazy things you can do. Let's say you don't have a History Maker, instead you have an upstream. Obviously you have Malem because it's broken. What you want to do here, actually it's supposed to be like this, the setup, by the way. So I'm just going to include 2 cards because you want the soul preferably. So let me just find a grade 1 and a grade 2 that you rode. And TikTok's not supposed to be in the soul. So you have grade 1, 2, normal. And you swing with Malem unboosted, obviously. TikTok Worker as normal. Time leap. Call. And then call the stand trigger anywhere. Doesn't really matter. It depends on what you want to call what's upstream. So because TikTok's in the soul and you want it into the drop zone, I would prefer calling GG, preferably in the back row because it's 5k. If you want to take away or something, then that's fine too, but preferably you want the GG because it sets up a lot and it pluses 1. So there you do that. Hope they didn't hit trigger. Upstream swings. calls GG in rest, GG Soul Blast 2, TikTok and PG would be amazing, draws a card, and then obviously you just continue your combo from there. Swing, grab this, counterblast 1, swing, call this, end phase, or swing, end phase, boom. Or draw trigger or something, or hard thump, that's fine too. So crazy combos you can do with this deck. Another one, this will be generally maybe the last one I'll show you, but it's crazy, like the amount of combos that you can do with this deck. So let's say you have the optimal setup and you're just crazy and you have everything. Let's say you're broken, so you have everything that you could ever want in your deck. Maybe it's your second Metallica Phoenix Stride. You have another TikTok in hand. Or let's say this isn't the field. This is the field previously because you didn't want TikTok to go off because they hit a trigger or something. But you have a Malem and a draw trigger in your hand. So you call the draw trigger, activate the skill, put it on History Maker, so it's a 12. Call Malem because Malem is broken, right? And you go off. Swing with Malem. Malem skill. Call. Swing unboosted. Time leap. Call Malem. Ur-watar skill, obviously. And then, so here, if they just still haven't hit a trigger, you can swing with Malem because, you know, the Vanguard booster doesn't matter. So use this one skill. Time leap. Sorry, that shouldn't be here. Call Ur-watar and then call another one. And then greedy plays, right? So swing with this, hit one trigger, hit a trigger, put it on the History Maker. Obviously, you time leap for the second Malem. Hit one trigger. They don't hit a trigger because they suck. 16 with Malem, and then skill. Call. 14 again. Counterblast 1. Oh, call. Ur-watar skill goes back to the deck. 11 again. TikTok. Bind again. Call the Ur-watar. And a third History Maker. History Maker goes off again. Counterblast 1. Boom. And swing, and then you can grab another like TikTok or something. So crazy. You +3 minimum. Swung for an insane amount of times. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or something. That's crazy. Plus you can put cards back like 9 times, or well, not 9 times, but a decent amount of times. So it's a really good deck. It's tier 1, probably on top of tier 1 because of how crazy it is and how versatile the deck can be. I don't think that fact will change in a while because of how much support it's getting. It's crazy. It's a solid deck, and it's insanely expensive now because of the hype and how just generally good the deck is and the combos can go off. Obviously, a lot of these combos require the cards that's needed to be run in the deck. So like multiple TikToks. A lot of people run 3. That's fine. Obviously, Ur-watar, Malem. If you want the upstream combo, you want like a 12k attacker maybe, and for sure this square 1 dragon. The 12k attacker isn't necessary, but it's fine because it swings 12, and it doesn't need a booster, so yeah. So that's the general basic combos and extensions that you can do with this deck. There are a bunch more. So if you're playing this deck, what my advice to you is to think about your combos and what you can do beforehand, and try to optimize it in any way possible. But at the same time, you have to remember that because this deck is like crazy with combos, you have to consider time, because you can time out because this deck is crazy and kind of long, because you shuffle and you do a massive amount of shuffling and skills. So generally by like game 3, it's possible that you're timing out at this point. So you just want to kill them as fast as possible, know the deck inside out, as well as the choices that you can do with this deck. So yeah, the combos aren't necessarily limited to just Metallica Phoenix. You can do specific things with Next Stage or Chronos Commander or something too, but they're not as extended because of the Metallica Phoenix. So that's basically all for this explanation of the Gear Chronicle combos. If you have any more creative, crazy combos that you can do with this deck, please let me know in the description, in the comment box down below. So please leave one, or if you have any ruling concerns about these combos or something, or explanations that you want me to go into further, please leave a comment in the comment box down below. And if you enjoyed this video, or agree with me how crazy and insane the deck is, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. And then if you want me to explain more about another deck or another clan, please let us know. Like, let's say you want to know more about the Victor plays and how you want to optimize on the attacks or something. Same thing with Aquaforce, or general decks that you want to learn how to play that we have. Please let us know in the comment box down below. And yeah, as always, you can check out our Facebook and Twitter. The links are in the description down below, and I'll see you all later.